Okay, let's be real. Your phone buzzes, you pick it up, maybe it's a text from your mom, maybe it's a work email, or just maybe it's a notification from one of those dating apps. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Grindr, OkCupid, the whole gang. It's like a tiny casino in your pocket promising a jackpot of love or at least a decent date for Friday night. This little buzz, this tiny digital nudge, has somehow become a huge part of how we look for romance. It feels so modern, so efficient. But is it actually making us happier? Is it leading us to the great loves we read about or see in movies? These apps, they promised us the world, right? More options than ever before. Connection at your fingertips. But what if that promise is a bit of a trick? What if all those choices, all that swiping, is actually making it harder to find something real? Before these apps, finding someone was different. It was more accidental. You met people at school, at work, through friends, at a weird cousin's wedding. Now it feels like a job. So how did we get here? How did these apps become so darn popular? It's pretty simple, really. They're easy. They're right there on your phone, always accessible. You can be on the bus, waiting for coffee, even, dare I say, on the toilet, and you can be dating. It's the ultimate convenience. Remember when you had to actually go places to meet people? Wild, I know. These apps cut out that whole effort part, or at least they seem to. They offer a seemingly endless pool of potential partners. Way more than you'd ever bump into in your local coffee shop or bookstore. This promise of infinite choice is a huge draw. Why settle for someone in your small town when you could potentially match with someone amazing just a few miles further away? Or even in another city if you're feeling adventurous with your location settings. It's like window shopping for humans. And let's be honest, there's a bit of an ego boost when you get a match, right? Someone out there swiped right on you. It's a little dopamine hit, a tiny validation. In a world where we're constantly seeking approval, these apps offer it in quick, easy doses. It's no wonder they spread like wildfire. Plus, there was a real need they seemed to fill. People are busier than ever. We work longer hours. One of the biggest issues with dating apps is how superficial they force us to be. Think about it. You get a few pictures, maybe a short bio, often filled with cliches like I love to laugh or fluent in sarcasm. Who isn't? You have seconds. Literally seconds to decide if someone is worth your time. Swipe left for no, swipe right for yes. It's brutal. You're judging people based on the tiniest sliver of information, mostly how they look in a carefully selected photo. Is that really how we want to find a life partner, based on whether they know their best camera angle? This focus on looks creates a really weird dynamic. It's like we're all in a constant beauty pageant, but the prize is a potentially awkward coffee date. People spend hours curating their profiles, choosing the photos that make them look most attractive, most fun, most adventurous. It's not always an honest representation, it's an advertisement. And we're all consuming these ads, making snap judgments. This can be tough on self-esteem. What if you're not conventionally attractive? Ghosting, the delightful practice of disappearing from someone's life without a word. No explanation, no goodbye, just poof, gone. If you've used dating apps, you've probably experienced this, or maybe you've done it yourself. No judgment, but also, come on. Ghosting has become incredibly common in the world of online dating, and it's a direct result of the low-stakes, impersonal nature of these platforms. When you've only exchanged a few messages with a stranger online, it feels easier to just vanish than to have an awkward conversation saying you're not interested. But easy for one person often means painful for the other. Being ghosted hurts. It really does. You're left wondering what you did wrong. Was it something I said? Was my profile picture not good enough? Am I just unlovable? It can send you into a spiral of self-doubt and confusion. Even if the connection was brief, the rejection stings. It's the lack of closure that's often the worst part. You don't get a reason. So your brain tries to fill in the blanks, usually with the most negative assumptions about yourself. This isn't healthy. Section 5. Your brain on apps, not always a happy place. Let's talk about what these apps are doing to our brains, our mental well-being. It's not always pretty, folks. The constant swiping, the matching, the messaging, the waiting for replies, it can be a real emotional roller coaster. Studies are starting to show links between heavy dating app use and increased feelings of anxiety, depression, and lower self-esteem. This isn't a huge surprise when you think about the pressures involved. You're constantly being evaluated and you're constantly evaluating others. That's a lot of judgment to handle on a daily basis. It's like having a performance review every time you open the app. The whole system is designed to be a bit addictive. Like I said, that match notification gives you a little hit of dopamine, a feel-good chemical in your brain. It's like a slot machine. You keep pulling the lever, swiping, hoping for a win, a match, a good conversation, a date. This can lead to compulsive use. You find yourself checking your apps constantly, even when you don't really want to. It can interfere with your work, your sleep, your real-life interactions. You're always half distracted, wondering if someone new has messaged you or if you've missed a potential connection. That's a stressful way to live. Section 6. Remember meeting people? The old ways had charm. Before our phones became our primary matchmakers, how did people find love? Or even just a date? It sounds like ancient history, but it wasn't that long ago. People met through friends. This was huge. Your friends know you, they know your personality, your quirks, they could vouch for someone. Oh, you have to meet my friend Sarah, you guys would totally hit it off. There was a built-in level of trust and screening. You weren't just meeting a random person from the internet. You were meeting someone connected to your social circle. That made a big difference in terms of safety and compatibility. People also met at work or school, shared environments, shared experiences. You saw these people regularly. You got to know them slowly, organically. You saw how they handled stress, how they interacted with others, what made them laugh. There was no pressure to impress in the first 5 seconds. Section 7. Real talk, stories and studies from the front lines. It's not just a feeling, the evidence is mounting. Researchers are digging into the effects of dating apps, and the findings are often sobering. For example, a study published in the journal found that swipe-based dating app users, particularly Tinder users, reported lower levels of self-esteem and higher levels of body dissatisfaction compared to non-users. Think about that. The very act of engaging with these platforms designed to connect us can make us feel worse about ourselves. That's a pretty big red flag. It suggests the system itself has inherent flaws that impact our psychological well-being. Then there are the countless personal stories. My friend Maria, for instance, she's smart, funny, successful. She spent 2 years on various apps. She went on dozens of first dates. Most were awkward or disappointing. She got ghosted so many times she lost count. She told me it felt like a second job, and a really demoralizing one. I started to think something was wrong with me. Eventually, she deleted all her apps. A few months later, she met someone great through a hiking group. Section 8. Are we forgetting how to talk? The social side effects. Beyond our individual heartaches and anxieties, dating apps might be having a wider impact on our social skills and how we interact as a society. Think about it. So much of our dating communication now happens through text. We craft messages, use emojis, wait for replies, but we're missing out on crucial elements of human interaction: tone of voice, body language, spontaneous laughter, the little things that tell you so much more about a person than a perfectly worded text ever could. Section 9. Enough is enough. It's time to delete and live. So what's the takeaway here? Are dating apps the absolute worst thing ever invented? Maybe not for everyone. Some people do find lasting love, but for a growing number of us, they've become a source of stress, anxiety, and disappointment. They promise connection but often deliver superficiality and heartache. They offer endless choice but can lead to decision paralysis and a feeling that no one is ever good enough. They're designed to keep us swiping, often at the expense of our mental well-being and our ability to form genuine, deep connections. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true for many. If you're feeling tired of the apps, if you're feeling more jaded than joyful, more anxious than excited, then maybe it's time for a change. A real change. I'm talking about deleting them. Yes, actually hitting that uninstall button. It might feel scary at first. What if you miss out on the one? But ask yourself, after all this time on the apps, have they truly brought you closer to what you're looking for? Or have they just kept you busy, swiping and hoping, while real life passes you by? Imagine what you could do with all that time and energy you currently spend on apps. You could join a club, take a class, volunteer for a cause you care about. You could invest more in your existing friendships, the people who already know and love you. You could simply be more present in your daily life, open to the possibility of meeting someone in the wild, the old-fashioned way. It might take more effort, sure.